Alrighty, let's head on over to the AFC South now with the Titans, the Colts, the Texans, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And let's see if they kind of won us over in training camp, and we'll see what our narratives were. So let's start with this Titans team. Julio Jones, how is he acclimating with the Titans? We've been hearing nothing but great things about Julio Jones, fitting in right off the rip, not wanting to kind of be the main focus, not wanting to kind of be the guy, just wants to be a guy, wants to be a player, a teammate, just a teammate in this organization, on this team and all that. So, love what we've been seeing from Julio Jones. He's not kind of stealing the spotlight. He gave up his number. He's still kind of, he'd play the number 2 on this team. He'd have no problem not being kind of the number 1 wide receiver. Hey, go to the number 2. We're going to have A.J. Brown be our number 1. He would have no problem with that. So, yeah, Julio Jones is acclimating to this Titans team absolutely perfectly. We loved it. Todd Downing, how does he run the offense? Well, this Titans offense has been pretty gosh dang good. They've been putting up some good point totals, folks, which is absolutely great. Preseason game number 1, 23 points. Preseason game number 2, 34 points. Preseason game number 3, 24 points. Real solid offense here. So the new offensive coordinator, perfect. Everything's looking good so far. All right, can he keep Ryan Tannehill in above average game manager level? Well, Ryan Tannehill didn't really play in the preseason, so that's something that we're going to have to kind of see. But so far, he's been coaching up the offense, the second and third strings, putting up those point totals in the preseason. So we would expect he would know how to handle Ryan Tannehill, what he can do, his limitations, what he can do out on the field. And I think he's going to have a great offensive plan here. So everything's looking great here for the Titans. And defense still has to be solid. And it was, folks. This was the best. I think this was ranked the best defense here in preseason. I think we can look this up quickly. Here we go. Let's go to team stats here. Team totals in the preseason. I know they held the teams to the least amount of points. I think they only gave up like 13 points this entire time, folks. So let's go to this. Team defense here. All right, let's see where this Tennessee Titans team ranked team defensively. See how many sacks that they had. Number 1 was kind of about 12 sacks. Tennessee had 9, real great up there. Pass defenses, most we're seeing is like 23. Tennessee had 15. That's not bad. I want to see what I want to see scoring. Because Tennessee, okay, here we go. Tennessee put up 81 points offensively, and I believe they had the top-ranked defense. Here we go. Tennessee only gave up 33 points this preseason, which is pretty good. Most was 20. We had a 21 point, but everybody else is like 30 and above. So this Titans defense is still real solid. We can definitely take that. And I think did they give up 33 points? Is that right? Oh, they gave up 30. They gave up 27 against the Bears in their season finale, but the first 2 preseason games, they only gave up 3 points each. That's why that defense was so great. So, and then you had, Andy Dalton playing a lot for Andy Dalton not playing. You had Justin Fields kind of playing a lot for that Bears team. Once again, Bears play with only Justin Fields, and they put up 27 points. I mean, he's got to be the week 1 starter. We digress here. This Titans defense is still real solid. So, at least in preseason, we've got to, we understand. We're taking everything with a grain of salt, folks. We don't have to say that after everything. We know it's preseason. We get it. But yeah, the defense, so everything, I mean, the Titans have knocked our narratives right out of the park. Everything was great here. They achieved everything. Fantastic. Everything we wanted to see, we saw. Fan-freaking-tastic. Titans, folks. Watch out for them. All right, let's talk about the Colts. What were our narratives at the start of training camp? We wanted to see Carson Wentz has to stay 100% healthy. Well, that didn't happen. Unfortunate. The foot injury, but we give him a little bit of a free pass. Little bit. This is the last free pass we're handing out for Carson Wentz, but it wasn't a new injury. It was a injury that he's always had. It was just, it got to a point where he had to finally deal with it, but now he's back 100% healthy. He will start week 1. So we wanted him to stay 100% healthy because of his injury history. Little bit of an injury, pre-existing though. We're not going to kind of jump overboard just quite yet. Do not, and then we also said this, do not want to see even small tweaks, and that is kind of a small tweak. It's unfortunate, but it's pre-existing. So I still think we can give him a pass and not freak out 100%. Michael Pittman Jr., can he be an explosive, true A1 Tier 2 wide receiver in this league? Well, now that T.Y. Hilton's out, he's going to have to step up and be the A1 Tier 1. We know he can potentially be an A1 Tier 2. We love what we saw. Did he get any burn in preseason? Let's quickly look up his stats here. We are looking at the Colts. Let's just see if he played in any preseason games here. Preseason game number 1 against the Panthers. He get any burn? What do we got going on? Michael Pittman Jr. No. He did not play. So probably didn't play either of these preseason games. We can watch. We can look up preseason 2 really quickly. If he's not in 1 or 2, we're not going to look at 3. So preseason game number 2, Michael Pittman Jr. did not. Oh no, he did. 1 catch for 7 yards. How many targets? He had 2 targets. Probably that pass was inaccurate. So overall, we believe in Michael Pittman Jr. Just didn't see a lot of him, but he'll have his chance. Next man up. T.Y. Hilton down for about 3 weeks. Michael Pittman Jr. step up into that role. We have confidence in you. How do the Colts handle the great running back depth? Well, Nyheim Hines is no longer on the depth chart, which is definitely not what we wanted to see. Let's see if he's back up there. We are big on Nyheim Hines. We are big on Jonathan Taylor. We are big on Marlon Mack. That's kind of what we want to see, the big 3 running backs here. But, they got Colts are back on their mental state here. They have Nyheim Hines back at number 3. He wasn't even in the top 4 at one point when we checked the depth chart here for this Colts team. But, yeah, they're going to be working with these running backs fantastically. They're going to get it done in the rushing game. I'm not worried about it. We can quickly take a look at what this Colts team did rushing-wise in the preseason and how they fared overall. So let's see where this Colts team was rushing the ball on offense. So here we go. Colts offensive rushing numbers. All right, here we go. Touchdowns. We got any touchdowns? I just want... no, I didn't put it... Okay, we got to go rushing. Here we go. Okay, Colts rushing stats. All right, about a top 10 rushing in the preseason. Fantastic. They had 98 attempts for 368 yards, which, like we said, their yards was about top 10 here. Number 1 was San Francisco, was 565. They averaged 3.8 yards a carry. That's a little light there. They had 3 rushing touchdowns. Most is like 7, it's seeming. Everybody else is kind of at the 2 to 4, so 3 right in the average-ish. Yards a game, they're putting up 127 yards a game on the ground, which is, once again, just kind of, solid, top 10-ish. Okay, first downs. Rushing first downs. They had 21. Most in the preseason seeming to be kind of 34. So he's kind of, once again, just kind of right in the average-ish. So, they're not using their best running backs out there the entire time, so we can expect the rushing game for the Colts to be very, very solid this year. Alrighty, and then the last narrative, I want to see all 3 get great rotational carries. So we could potentially hope to see that in the regular season. Didn't really see that in preseason because starters. So not bad there by the Colts. All right, here we go. The Texans now. What were our training camp narratives? Is Deshaun Watson going to jail? Well, not yet, but that is still an option. So because now there's criminal charges filed, which is not great. At the beginning of training camp, it was all personal. Civil, I should say. All civil lawsuits, but now there are criminal. But he's not in jail yet, but that is still an option. Defense is going to have to be solid, just solid, because the offense should be able to carry. Well, it should be able to, but now we're with Tyrod Taylor. So I think we wrote this when, it was good. Deshaun Watson still being on this team, kind of 100%. Now, him still wanting to get traded, and the team having him on the roster still, and him still being in the building, but he's not getting any reps or any kind of play, any burn like that. So this offense is going to be a little bit lackluster now. We believe in Tyrod Taylor decently. Let's bring up their depth chart to see what their weapons are like. I believe they may still have a good running back. What do we got here? Mark Ingram is their starting running back, but he's a little old. Why is he the starter? Mark Ingram's listed as their starter. Phillip Lindsay should be the starter. Phillip Lindsay's better than Mark Ingram, and Mark Ingram's good, but he's a little bit older. So I go with the young kid. I go with Phillip Lindsay. So, okay, I don't like that. But Brandon Cooks, Chris Connolly, Anthony Miller, Decent weapons there offensively. The line, Laramie Tunsil, I don't know how great he is. So, yeah, we'll see. Tyrod Taylor is definitely a way dip below than what Deshaun Watson was last season. So, yeah, maybe this offense shouldn't be able to carry now. So maybe the defense is really going to have to step up now, since it's not Deshaun Watson. We know what Deshaun Watson did last season. He was carrying the team, and it only resulted into 4 wins. And Tyrod Taylor is nowhere near the quality that Deshaun Watson is. So, yeah, we're going to need this defense to step up. This offense can't just kind of be the main focal point. This defense is really going to have to do their part this season. So we'll see what they can do. Oh, man, I don't know. What is this defense? Whitney Merciless, Malik Collins, Vincent Taylor, Jordan Jenkins, Zach Cunningham, Christian Kursky, Kevin Pierre, Lewis, Desmond King, Eric Murray, Justin Reed, Terrence Marshall. They're going to have to get it done because this offense is not as explosive as kind of it was seeming to be like in the beginning of training camp. Unfortunate. Alrighty, and then the last team to talk about here in the AFC South is the Jacksonville Jaguars, and our narratives were, how quickly does Tim Tebow get cut? Well, it was actually pretty quickly. It was the first opportunity to cut players when you had to cut some players. That was the first opportunity that they had, and they used it to cut Tim Tebow. So for that, I can applaud the Jaguars and Urban Meyer for cleaning up their absolute garbage mistake of signing this man for even a chance to play in this league. So for that, we like that. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Yes, that is exactly what happened. And Urban Meyer, can he coach? Well, we actually know this for a fact that he can't coach. He's, he lost the OTAs because he didn't know the rules in kind of OTAs this season. So he lost his OTAs next season, so he doesn't know the rules. He cannot coach. We just saw him in the media saying, hey, we made decisions on vaccination status for our final cuts. And then the PR team had to come out and be like, no, that's not really what he meant. This is what he meant right here. Can't really say it out loud. He said the quiet part out loud. We've heard that in that NFL.com article. Somebody said he said the quiet part out loud. Exactly that. So Urban Meyer cannot coach. He had a quarterback battle. That was not a quarterback battle. That is not a coach right there. That is manipulative. He manipulated Gardner Minshew because Gardner Minshew wanted a trade because he wanted somewhere where he can start. So Urban Meyer manipulated him into saying, yeah, you've got a chance to start here. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, we're not going with Trevor Lawrence right off the rip, even though we are. So, yeah, this man cannot coach. I've got no problem saying this. Urban Meyer is floundering in the NFL. You're a great college coach, different system here in the NFL, and he's not making it work. So Urban Meyer cannot coach in this league. Did he win any preseason games either? He lost preseason game number 1, 23-13, 10-point loss, trash. Preseason game number 2 here. They lose 21-23, can't close out a close game. Trash. And then preseason game number 3, last attempt to get a win here. Urban, did you do it? You beat the Cowboys. Congratulations, 34-14. I'll give him that one. But everything else, this man can't coach. If you want to put one preseason game win as him being able to coach, I'll let you do that. But everything else, the man is not a coach. The man does not know how to be a coach in this league yet. So Urban Meyer cannot coach. We do know that now.